Mike Monday here on a bright and early Sunday morning for me. May well be your Saturday evening or afternoon, depending on where you are. I hope you're having a good Saturday night or a good Sunday morning. Although if you have any sense, and it is Sunday morning, you will be in bed. Unfortunately, I don't have any sense. So today I'm changing it up a little because I have been using a particular template, which is basically the same as this one, but I've added something. I've added a piano. This is one of my favourite piano sounds. It's from Spitfire. It's the Olafur Arnold's felt piano. Sounds very nice. Very kind of soft. And the hello C-Ray Beats. So the reason I've added this in is because as I was laying in bed last night, I realised that I was kind of getting a bit stale on the old template, and I wanted to kind of add to it. Now, the way I think about making music in your own style is that it's about a few things, but one of the things it is actually about what you're not using more than it is what you are using. So what I am kind of exploring at the moment with all of these splurges is what I am going to add to my band, if you like, in terms of instrumentation. And this isn't for ever, this is just for the moment, and kind of settle on for a period of time. And obviously it's always organically changing, but settle on for a period of time, a certain number of instruments, and work with that. And this is kind of getting close to it. I've been doing this for a few weeks now. This is kind of getting close to it, where I've got some kind of 808, the DFAM. I added the piano today, and then Diva and Omnisphere. I also need to bring this in, but it involves a little bit of fannying around because I want to test actually putting connecting these two things together via the patch base. So I haven't got this thing in yet, which is a Roland SH7. You'll notice as well I've removed the Prophet Rev 2, and I'm not going to use that. And the reason for this is people often come to me and they say, I've got this. I don't know how to make, and I don't know. I can't figure out. That's it. I can't figure out what my style wants to be. What my unique style wants to be, because having a unique sound is just a massive differentiator. Well, by definition, of course. I think it's incredibly important. You don't want to be a bad imitation of somebody who already exists. You want to be yourself. And so people kind of go, they can't decide what kind of music they want to make. The problem is with that is you're putting the thinking about it before the actual doing of it. You kind of have to create your way into a unique style. And what that basically means is creating the conditions, some of the conditions, where this unique style will kind of appear. And what that means in relation to the automatic music machine and the way I make music is essentially deciding what instrumentation you're going to use, and up front, before you've done anything, which actually comes, like, confusingly slightly, comes out of the process. So you can see my template developing over time as I'm trying different things, but actually creating those conditions, and then when I say the conditions, the template, the instrumentation, and then using it without intention, almost just experimenting with it. Because when sort of too much thought comes into the actual creative process, because bear in mind, I've been doing my thinking outside of the creative process, doing the thinking, experimenting with it, and then coming out the creative process and thinking again and going, well, how can I change this as a result of what I've actually done? And by creating that template over time up front and taking things away and deciding, well, actually, I'm not going to use that one, I'm going to use this differently, then that is, that will lead to, amongst other things, a unique style. Okay. Hello, Manuel, and hello, Morteza. So, I've got this piano, and if I can remember it, I was just playing a little part. I was just doing some practice, because the thing is, because I've left the piano out, I've unfortunately fallen off the piano practice wagon, which I need to get back on. It's also been... Anyway, I don't want to make any excuses. There aren't any excuses. I've fallen off the piano practice wagon. So this morning, before I did this, I started doing some practice, just playing some stuff. And I played this very, very simple little part, which I think I might start with today, if I can remember it. Like that, okay? So, the only problem with it is that it's a triplet, and I want this to be in 4, right? So, the only problem, because it's quite easy to play on its own, but in order to make it work with, for instance, this, it needs to be to a click track. So, here goes, because it's going across, that the triplets will be going across the beat, because it's in 4. Right, so that because the DAW will be in 4. So I'm not sure how well that's going to go. And I was like, oh God, do I honestly want to do this in public? But hey, let's just give it a go. That'll do. Lost it there. It was getting a bit out again. I was rushing. I could feel myself rushing. I don't mean like rushing. I mean, as I always do, anticipating. I actually started once again practicing melodics yesterday as well. Because I tell you, like doing this, these live streams has really kind of awakened my thirst to play live. And that doesn't mean I want to go touring or anything like that, because I did that for like 17, well, it probably wasn't 17 years. How long was it? Probably about 14 years, and it nearly killed me. So I'm not talking about touring, but I'd love to be able to do live streams of actual, performances, and it would be even better if I could just make up tunes on the fly. So that's going to involve a heck of a lot of practice, because I'm all over the place. But anyway, yeah, you can see, look, I'm getting really, really ahead here. Don't know if that will work. What happens if I quantize that to? I don't want to quantize it to fully to 16. I just want to see if it's 2 out too. It's not so bad. Oh, I see. It's because it's in 4s. No, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's because it's going across the bar, of course. Let's have a listen. I'll tell you what, the thing to do actually is not worry about that and see what happens when I actually bring something regular in. What is this going at? This is going at 8. Let's leave it at that. Oh god, I keep forgetting what button to press. Right, okay. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but anyway, let's just go with it. So let's just start with this. Alright, so what we've got is, with these leads, I've got pitch going to noise level, right? So basically this top line of knobs here will basically, when I turn them up, the noise will be louder. And then I've got velocity going to VCO decay, which is this one, which makes it go pew like that. Okay. What I might do, let's see what it's on. It's going really out, isn't it? Okay, that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off and I'm just going to push it in that direction. Again, this is, even though I'm splurging, this is a kind of quality thing, but what it was doing was it was making me distracted. So it was like I was going slower. Yeah, so I'm kind of just doing what I need to do just to stop me from being distracted by it. Oh, I need the click track on. Yes, Bortes. I saw John Hopkins at the Sydney Opera House. When was it? About a month ago. And it was really funny because he just came on and he started playing the grand piano, and I said to my mate who I went with, I was like, it was a bit unusual. I mean, I really liked it. Don't get me wrong, but it was a bit unusual because it was just a bit kind of random almost, and he just played this thing, and it was a bit random. I said to my mate, I bet you he just played that. I bet he doesn't usually do that. I bet he just played that because there was a grand piano, like a Steinway grand, at the Sydney Opera House, and he just wanted to do it. And it was funny because then my mate, a couple of days later, sent me a Instagram post from him saying, yeah, I started with the thing because there was a grand piano there and I just thought it would be cool. Because it kind of was like separate from the rest of the show. Anyway. Okay, so let's start there. No. From there. Okay, let me just sort that one thing out. I'm going to do is just mute that. Oh, that's not right. Was that right? Yeah, it was right. Let's try that. Is this the right length? Yeah. Oh, I can't remember where it was now. There, I think. want to go too crazy on that, but I'm just going to go with that, right? Okay. Let's go. Do. I'm just going to have this going there. That's fine. Turn the record off there. Now, we've got this thing where this is going on a very... So this is very triplety and this is very non-triplety. Okay. So now it's going to be about making the join between those two things, if you like. Just a straight up house kick might be quite nice there. Let's just do that. Keep it simple. This wants to be in. On the nose. On the nose, governor. See, that piano part still isn't right, but I can sort it out again at another time if I'll work on this track again in the future. At the end of the day, I can hear the idea. Oops. I can hear the idea and it being wrong, and I can hear how strong it is without it being fixed. I can kind of hear past those problems. So if I can do that, then I don't need to fix everything. at this stage. Let's just start with that. Let's just capture that. Confusion. How weird. Let's just put that on the end and see what happens. That doesn't seem right. Let's just play that. Okay. I understand. I just played halfway through the bar. What happened was, now I know what happened. As usual, I played that chord. I anticipated that chord, so it didn't record when it changed it to the other part. So what I'm just going to do is join these two together. Oh, is that there? That it there? That's it there. That's the anticipated chord. Really got to sort that out. Although, maybe I did that on purpose. That's my story. Right, so. So I've just been faffing around for a bit there, just seeing what else. And the one that's probably the closest is that one. Yeah. So yeah. No, I know you can do that. Dry Dessert saying, if you use arpeggiator plugins in Logic, there's a free plugin that records that MIDI so you can drag and drop and then edit individual notes. So that kind of thing, for me, I ain't going to spend my time doing that. It's just not what, the kind of thing that I'm going to do. Because it just isn't. It's like a rabbit hole of epic proportions. I tend to do other things, kind of more sound design things. I'm much more open to randomness than trying to make something work like that. So I tend to avoid things where I'm dragging notes around and stuff, because it just becomes too on the grid and things like that. So I rarely do things like that. I have done in the past, but it's ended up in days and days of like trying to make something right and then giving up. So I don't think I have the mind for that kind of work, and I actually don't think it actually ends up in the certainly for me anyway, in the best kind of thing. I'm just So I just. You'll see as you see me live streaming more. You'll see how I how I do it. I'm not saying I do it right. I'm just saying it's how I do it. So dragging notes around, it's not Mike Monday style at all. Occasionally I do. I have to, but if that kind of thing, you got to be kidding me. But what I might do is this. Where is it? By the way, I don't really use many of these plugins. I need to remove them from my folder. I just haven't got around to it yet. What is it? Where is it? Can't even remember. No, Dave's this old. Yes. So this is something. Yeah, I hear things in my head as well, and so there's a difference. So if you only go with what you hear in your head and you over-focus on that, then you spend a lot of time trying to make something that's in your head, and you often will miss a load of opportunities on the way that happen along the way to it because you're over-focused on the thing in your head. The idea in your head, when you can hear something in your head, that's what I call the design mindset. You've got an idea in your head and you design it. It's a very, very important part of the creative process. I have absolutely no questions with that. I mean, I can hear things too. However, particularly the online training space has led to an unfortunate situation for a lot of music producers where that's the only method of making progress that they use. It's like, I've got this sound in my head and I'm trying to make it. I've got this part in my head. I can hear it. Is it like that? Is it like that? And what I've noticed is there's a number of problems with that. A, it takes absolutely ages, and often you lose the vibe. B, you're not actually listening to what's coming out of the speakers for all of the other opportunities that are coming up as you move towards that thing in your head, which are usually much better than the thing that you've got in your head. The other problem with it is that if you don't have ideas in your head, you're not exercising a muscle which I call the discovery muscle. And of course, everybody does work differently. I get that. But what I've noticed is those who go very slow or get completely stuck or very frustrated have not worked this discovery muscle because they're over-focused on the design idea in their head. So that's one of the things that I do a lot of training on in my various programs is I get people to start using their discovery, which is you've got this idea in your head, you move in that but all that is a signpost moving you in a certain direction. But as soon as you're moving in that direction, you are actually listening for other opportunities that come up along the way. Because there are a few psychological principles about how the mind works that using that design mindset alone and getting over-focused on this stuff in the head means that you don't make there's a lot that you're missing. So anyway, let's continue. Yeah, I'm not really talking about chaos. That's not what this is. It's different. Yeah, that's the other problem. You're absolutely right. Designed music does not sound fresh. It can, if you're lucky, but often it just sounds very clean. It's had the life sucked out of it, if you like. Right. Let's I don't know. Something. Bonk. Okay. It's probably not the first sound I would choose, but let's see what happens. Actually, what I might do is is this. Boink. Alright, so it's a bit of a mess, but it's alright. The one thing I want, so now I'm thinking, what do I want to hear? And what I want to hear, actually, is this. No, this. Is that? Trouble is the. No, not that. That. Alright. I know what to do. Do I know what to do? I do. Okay. That's it. There we go. Whoops. Whoop. Well, I'm there. So that is a wrap for the Splurge, and at this point, I haven't yet got any other what they're called, live streams scheduled in, because I didn't get around to it yesterday. But I am going to do some in the coming week. What should I call it? Disc Hoovery. There you go. Yeah, I haven't got any live streams scheduled in, but I will in today. I'm going to put some in today. I need to actually teach one of my team members to do it, because I'm not the best at actually doing things like that. I just I'm a terrible procrastinator. So, but anyway, I'm gonna do that today. I don't know if I can get one in tomorrow. Hopefully, I will. Pretty sure I can't get one in the day after. But yep, in case you've missed it, there's a new class of the Leap starting this weekend. So take a look in the comments, not the comments, the description for a link to the page there, if you want to come and join us. It's where obviously this splurging is just the first start of my process, where you learn the entire automatic music machine. We make absolutely loads of music, and your mind will be blown in multiple different ways. So if you want to do that, that's great. If not, well, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Happy producing. John, is that Jono or Jovno? No problem at all. I'm glad that you finished 4 tracks this year so far. That's brilliant. Keep going. That's more than I finished this year, but I'm going to up that rate coming soon. I've been away on holiday, and anyway, I'm not going to make excuses. So well done, and yeah, that's it. So keep splurging, keep making music. Don't worry too much if it sounds rubbish. In fact, don't worry at all if it sounds rubbish, because if you keep going, some of it won't. There's one thing that I've learned about the creative process is that if you can't be okay with making stuff that sounds rubbish, you're never going to make the music you could make, the quality of music you could make. That is an absolute essential skill to learn. Okay, and it took me quite a while to be able to just splurge cold in public live, because it is kind of frightening. You're kind of laying it all bare. But I'm sure if you've seen any of these live streams so far, that the majority of the stuff I'm making is either rubbish or not, anything from rubbish to just okay. In all of the live streams that I've done, I mean, I can't even, maybe there was a couple, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You find the music. You don't will it into being. Yeah, you create and you find it. So just remember that. So don't get downcast if it's sounding rubbish. That it describes 80% of the time I'm making music as you're starting to learn. So anyway, I will see you this week. I'm pretty sure I'll do one tomorrow. It won't be at this time, because that's when I'm doing a coaching call for this class of the Leap, but it'll be a bit later. So anyway, I'll see you soon. Onwards and upwards.